Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Estate Right Now, where we talk about real estate matters that matter to you. We are live here from Linda Craft Team Studios here in Raleigh, North Carolina, part of the Greater Research Triangle Park. Today's show. Let's be honest, folks. At some point, you're going to want to downsize. How do we do that? Because as we all know, downsizing is never easy, right? For whatever the reasons are, it's never easy. And here's why. It doesn't take long to accumulate a lot of stuff. That's what happens. So how do we manage that? What are some of the things that we need to consider when it comes to downsizing? What are some of the things that you're probably going to deal with emotionally? Who can help you? Well, that's why I brought today's guest. His name is Fred Pearson. He's the president CEO of oh boy, I just went RaleighShowhomes.com here in Raleigh. That happens, by the way, when you're going live, these type of things happen. So Raleigh Show Homes, and he's been with us before. And we've also had one of your people here comes on. Christy Slater comes on pretty regularly and helps us with decoration ideas and things like that and planning ideas. Fred, welcome back.
Well, great to be here, Jay.
Okay, downsizing. First of all, let's be honest. We have an older population. Our population is aging, right? And as we age and we become empty nesters, we have a tendency to want to downsize. It's not the only reason. There's some people who want to go more minimalized, and so they want to downsize because they just feel they just don't need all of what they have. So when people start to downsize, what are some of the considerations that they need to make as they approach this idea of downsizing?
Well, Jay, what we're seeing in the market over the last 24 to 36 months post-COVID world, a couple of things have happened in the triangle market. Basically, properties have significantly increased in values as folks are now seeing in their tax bills.
Mm-hmm.
We've had anywhere from a 20 to 40% increase. Homeowners that have been in their home for 15, 20, 25 years are now sitting on significant equity. And as they transition and get older, we're seeing that they would like to take advantage of that opportunity. The triangle market continues to remain very active, very desirable for the rest of the country. And as such, we've been able to keep the market values that we're seeing. And I'm speaking now from a staging point of view. We're in houses every single day. Many times our clients and Linda Craft team has always been able to identify the market segments that need attention and then tailor the services to that market. That being said, many times we'll go into a property and this is a couple or a single that are living in 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet and are ready to make a downsized transition. They contact their agent and they begin the process in real estate to analyze a market condition report. And then they begin to realize they open the attic door and the garage. And honestly, what we're seeing is folks can become overwhelmed. What started out as a great idea to let's get this property. We found a community we want to move to, or the mountains or the beach. And honestly, they get overwhelmed and all of a sudden the process stops. And the agent is wanting to work with them, but can't come into the house to do what needs to be done. And this is where Linda Craft team has identified. And so we partner with Linda and we're setting up a strategy where we can offer a number of services to the homeowner, the seller, to prepare their house. And there's a few factors involved. But that's kind of a synopsis of where we're at.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those factors, and then let's talk about the services, because I think when people are in this situation, as people watch this and listen to this, as they're kind of going, okay, I think I know probably some of the factors. Help us understand what some of those factors are, and then let's talk about how you solve them uh, as a from Raleigh show homes perspective?
The first thing to do is analyze the property, in the sense that um, we want to make it a logistical step-by-step process. People become overwhelmed because they are surrounded by everything they've collected over all the years, and they're not sure how to start, where to start, what to do. So, and it's really very simple. We are always happy. We have partnered, our company has partnered with another company that specializes in the labor side of moving. And what we've been able to do is reach an agreement for what we'd like to consider below market rates, so that the client is receiving the benefit of a lower price and tailored to what their needs are. So there's a number of ways to go, but one of the first things we always recommend to our clients is to do the 3 or 4 color method. And what I mean by that is you go to Staples or Office Depot and you buy a big packet of multicolored Post-it notes. So red, green, yellow, blue. And you begin to tag the items in the attic, in the garage, and over a defined period of time. It could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, depending on the schedule that the agent and the homeowner are looking at to get the house on market. So once they begin this process, if you color code, and we say green is to keep, red is to trash,
Okay.
then there's sell, donate, consign. So each homeowner picks the colors that most appropriate to them and start tagging. So on one hand, yes, you end up with a house with 1,000 little sticky notes, but what you're doing is really defining, and I hate to use a lack of a professional term, the piles
Right.
to which you will assign the colors. So many times trash starts in the garage, and there's 2 ways to go here. We do work with clients that are older, post-retirement, actually considering assisted living, and we have someone come in that will work with them to apply the sticky notes to the items that need to be. Most homeowners are saying, we got it. We give them the checklist. They follow the checklist. They start identifying it. So over, let's say, 30 days, there's a pile in the garage with red. We know that's trash.
Right.
All the items that are family and from the kids are green, and that is allocated into a room. The attic has a little bit of everything, including consignment and things that may wish to be resold. Those are put into piles with the Post-it notes. So 30 days later, you now have 1,000 Post-it notes throughout the house, and then we can start the process. The company that we work with their owner, Damien, will come and visit with each client and see and assess what their needs are. He will listen to what their timeline is and what they wish to be accomplished on a priority level. Then he will organize. Maybe it's just 2 men to pack up. So for example, 2 men are $125 an hour. They will come to the house, they will pack up whatever they are instructed to do with boxes or sort into the piles. Then when you're ready, let's say that the pile in the garage is ready to go to the Wake County Convenience Center, a truck and 2 men can come for, I believe, $165 to load it up, take it to the dump, and come back if there's anything that needs to be done. Then we also do the transition move. Let's say they're now 30 days from going on market. They're now getting their furniture organized, and they've decided we're downsizing. We don't have anywhere to put it, but we don't want to sell it, donate it. Let's put it in storage. So we have 2 ways to go there. Again, Damien will have his truck 18 to 24 feet, depending on the needs. They will pack the truck, instructed by the homeowner or seller, and then take it to storage. we always recommend short-term storage as being drive-up storage. The world of public storage has changed. The focus now is on enclosed, heated and cooled with doors and elevators.
Right.
And that's wonderful if you have artwork, if you have expensive items. But there's two ways to go. So he offers a package where we do drive-up storage, which is most cost-effective, shortest time frame, but is open to the conditions of weather. But if we're only talking 6 months, it's usually the most cost-effective way. If, on the other hand, there are valuables that need to be in that, then he will also price it, but it can take 2 to 3 times as long because of they have to put it on a cart, up an elevator, into a unit, and just takes a lot longer. But we listen to what the client's needs are, and then based on that, we will take all the items that need to go to storage and take care of that. Then they may need to say, well, we're moving and we're going from 5,000 down to 1,800, 1,200 square feet. Here are the items we're going to use. Damien will work with them to tag it and then give them a price to have everything relocated to the location they're moving to. So there are so many parts, but it all takes effect over a 30 to 60 day time frame based on the client's needs and schedule. And then the most important thing I think we'd like to share is that there's a primary point of contact, whether it's myself from Show Homes or whether it's Damien from Pack Ship Hall. They would be the ones to work with the client based on their needs to prepare the house by getting everything uncluttered and in the right place. Consignment donations are the same way. We'll just take it to Durham Rescue Mission, restore. Sometimes there are tax benefits for the client that they can make the donation and take a write-off. So that's kind of a quick overview of all the services.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw some questions at you because as you were talking here, I was like going, okay, now all of a sudden a question pops in my head, and here's the first one I have for you. Is first of all, I think I love the color. The color coding.
Keep it simple.
Right. It's really simple, right? Am I going to throw this away? Am I going to keep this? Am I going to sell it? Am I going to, consign or, give it away to somebody, whatever it may be. Right. And I love the color coding, but here's the question I have for you. And you brought it up here towards the end. Let's say you're in that 4,000 square foot house and you're moving down to 1,800. We're pretty good at hoarding our stuff. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, you've seen it. We like our stuff because we think everything is important, right? Everything has some sort of value to us, right? My wife will say to me, why are you holding on to that? And I'll go, well, because it's valuable to me. Really? You haven't looked at it in, 6 years. Is it really that valuable? Well, when I want to see it, it is at that moment, right? So, oftentimes, if I'm moving like that from that 4,500 to 1,800 square foot, we still have too much stuff. Do you do anything like go to the, to the proposed square footage house, measure it out, and then are able to go back to the client and say, okay, you've done a great job here, but you still need to cut it back?
Oh, I see. I see. So my company, which is a staging and home services company, can offer design services from, we keep a professional designer, Christy. Yeah. And so what we would do is schedule what we call a consult. And Christy or Peggy or Lorraine would contact the client and say, understand that you're going to be downsizing. What's very popular now are the EPCON retirement communities. And that is exactly the square footage you're talking about. And what we will do is make an assessment of what the space requirements and needs are and provide those orally when we walk through or in writing for because there's additional time involved. And help them plan an outline of what the space will allow. Gotcha. So they're not bringing 3 90-inch sofas. Well, you know what I'm
I know,
saying.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And sometimes people just, they know what they want, but they're not sure how to get there.
That's the point.
And part of what our service is to assist our clients in determining what their needs ultimately will
Sure.
be. In many ways, as always, listening is more important than just providing the service.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, every client is different.
Yeah.
Sure. And the same way, when you go to an attic or a garage, what we may see is not always what the client perceives.
Right.
Like you said, we are very loath to get rid of things, although we may not have used them in 10 years.
I know, I get it. Well, here's the thing that I because I could see Christy doing this, right? Because she's got she's kind of got a bedside manner to her. You know, she really does, right? Gentle, humble, little human being, right? That she is. And because I think one of the biggest challenges for us, and now I'm going to speak as a psychological professional, the biggest challenge is to break that emotional attachment to the things that I have, right? And I think that's got to be a challenge for you when you present and you go, listen, I know you've got this cut down, but we're going to an 1,800 square foot place. You still got 3,000 worth of stuff, 3,000 square foot worth of stuff here. You know, we've got 1,200 square feet we got to get rid of. You know, that approaching that has got to be a challenge for you too, to be able to say to the client, we're not there yet. And this is probably where you're talking about some of the options. Now you can store it, but this is probably going to be long-term storage. Let's talk about what that's going to cost you, right? Is that some of the things that you have to approach with the client?
Yes, and I wish I could speak in generalities, because every client's needs are different, even though the mission is the same.
Right.
Their perception, and we find the number one stumbling block for sellers and homeowners that are beginning the process to go from a larger to a downsize is that once they start the assessment process, they become overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And the problem with becoming overwhelmed is a normal human instinct is to freeze, in the sense of, let's hold off selling the house. And what's happened now is everything has come to a complete stop in the process.
Got it.
The flip side of that, from the real estate side, and I'm sure you and Linda can testify to this, is the market is changing. We are no longer in the post-COVID market of 20 to 30 to 40,000 over ask in one weekend with multiple offers.
Right.
I am so sorry. That party has ended.
It has. Yeah.
We are now looking at, if you get under contract in 15 days at full price, you are very fortunate.
Absolutely.
As that needle swings more to the buyer, and I'm hoping the Fed's interest rate cuts will start to bring buyers from the sideline back into the market, that time is relative to the downsizing move compared to market conditions.
Right.
So our job from pack, ship, haul, and show homes is to assist the client in each step of the process to be able to get to where they are comfortable to then commit to Linda and the team, to be able to get the house on market and begin to get and realize the equity that they've earned over the last 10, 20 years.
So you have two challenges, it seems to me, especially if you're selling your home and downsizing, and then you're going to a downsized home. It seems to me that your challenge from your end is, okay, I have to keep enough furniture in the house so that it looks presentable, because it's much easier to sell a house that has some furniture in it and it's not empty. And at the same time, I have to have, as you're going into that new house, I have to come up with a design and a look that you're going to be happy with, because I'm assuming that typically you're hired for both. One, help me get downsized, and then how is this going to look when I get it into the new house?
Believe it or not, what we've seen so far is sellers and clients are so looking forward to that next step result that they really don't need us as much.
Really?
Because of the limited space. They've got it kind of figured out. Now,
Okay.
yes, for a 1 hour, 1.5 hour consult with Christy, it may clarify where they wish to position. It's more, our focus is really more on getting the property ready to go to market. What we call MLS condition.
Sure.
The focus for us on the staging, and mostly it works that once we get the homeowner on board and present the checklist to downsize and move, normally, Jay, honestly, what we see is they remove all furniture from the property.
Oh, okay.
At that point, my staging company can then come in and stage the house. Because
so you bring in your own furniture, you get everything that they have out, and you bring in your own things to stage it.
Because the downsizing is one aspect of the market,
right?
Selling the house,
right?
And so the whole point of staging is to create an emotional connection.
Absolutely.
Buying today starts online. Nobody gets in a car and drives on a Sunday.
Absolutely.
So great staging with excellent photography drives showings, and having an open palette, we know how to appeal to the widest range of the market.
Got it.
So, I'm not trying to just put in a plug for staging, but it's a two-step process.
But no, I get it, because I think it's an important differentiator, which I didn't think about, is get everything out. You come in and stage it with the right things to make it as show ready and presentable as possible.
Correct.
And so you're looking at it from a way I just wasn't thinking about. I should have. I just didn't think of it that way. But that makes the most sense, because then you have everything out as the person who's going to be downsized. You now can move your stuff in whenever you want to. Because you're not going to have to move your stuff out. Your stuff's already out.
Absolutely. And there's there's another benefit to that. The staging process is that Show Homes, a national staging company, has now partnered with a bank to offer a pay at closing option.
Oh,
so we now work with a Bank of Seattle that offers sellers a quick 1 to 2 hour approval process where the money can be provided for home renovations and updates, as well as staging. And then once the property sells, we're paid by the bank, and then the bank is paid at closing. And there's a flat fee. 1.9% is their flat fee, and 60 days no interest. I'm going into it, but I'm only bringing this up.
No, but it's a great option that people don't know.
It is that the process, there are multiple steps in the process. The great thing for clients and homeowners is they can pick what their needs are. They may just need help with the downsizing, and they're fine with this. They don't need to stage. They may need one of our other, we are called Show Homes and Home Services. So it's Show Home Staging and Home Services. We constantly do painting, handyman repairs, electrical. So it's let's get the downsize. Let's get them relocated. Let's repair and fix the house for market condition. Let's stage the house. We're a one-stop shop for the entire process, working hand in glove with the Linda Craft team.
Right. Well, I think what's important, because and it's really true, because I've had friends that I've contacted you and have got one of your people to help redo a bathroom somewhere, and they were fabulous, and they raved about your guy, and he was great. And I think that's the thing that we forget, because it's called Show Homes of Raleigh. What we forget is you've got all these other people that you don't just do the decorations, right, and make it look good. You also got the people to fix these things. We got a little of an electrical problem. We got a little bit of a plumbing problem. We've got a little bit of remodeling. We got a hardwood floor that's got a problem or an issue. There's the dishwasher's leaking a little bit, whatever it might be. I mean, you've got people for that.
Absolutely.
And which is really cool. And when you're downsizing, I think one of the challenges is that, who do I call Because I know once you move all the stuff out, you start to see and go, oh boy, that's an issue. You know, this is going to need a new coat of paint. Who do I call? You've got that person.
There's a lot of peace of mind of having a primary and single point of contact
Right.
for the entire process. So whether it's the downsizing element and pack up, whether it's preparing the house for handyman and repairs, or whether it's staging the house.
Yeah.
It's nice to have one point of contact, one phone
Yeah,
call,
great.
7 days a week. We're there to be able to offer the services.
Here's the cool thing. We've done our time. So you know what? They should know who to call and what that number is and where to go to do that. So first of all, thank you for being with me today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So let them know how can they get a hold of you, get a hold of Raleigh Show Homes if they want to take advantage of all the services that you have to offer, and the fact that if they are selling their home, that you know what, you can make this part of the closing statement. How do they get a hold of you?
The best way to reach us, we're listed as Show Homes Raleigh and Home Services. Please feel free to Google us. I always say we're not the largest staging company. We're just rated the highest. Please read our Google reviews. You can contact me directly at 919-244-9688. We're 7 days a week. You're welcome to call us at any time.
Could you repeat that number one more time?
Sure. That's 919-244-9688. My name is Fred Pearson. I'm happy to speak with you about any needs you may have.
Fred, thanks.
Hey, it was
It's been
great.
great. It's great.
Thank you so much.
All right, stay with me. Hey, folks, listen, that's a show. You know what? You had a lot of choices. You chose us. Thank you for doing that. We really are grateful for that. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Wherever you're listening to the show, give us a 5-star and write us a positive review. We're really grateful if you would do that. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear what you'd like us to talk about. We'll find the person and we'll bring them on the show, and we'd be happy to do that for us. So just wherever you watch this or maybe listening to us, write us still something that you'd like to hear. We'd love to do that for you. And as I say to you all over the world, you know what that is. Ciao, everybody.